properly curved. Enjoy your saves. That is a little bit naughty. Welcome Mange Football. How are we doing, football people? And welcome to the first one of these kind of videos on this channel. I'm going to be doing it every single week going forward, but this is the first one. And I thought, what better video to review first than the video that hit 17 million views on TikTok. So this is the video that we're talking about today. It's actually the most viewed video that I've ever had on any social media whatsoever. And I thought, because I've got every single touch that Oscar makes in the game, it's almost like a perfect one to do first. I post a lot of shorts on here, but I want to hit 2023 real hard and do a lot longer, long form content as well. So now I've got all the housekeeping out of the way. I don't want to keep you in suspense any longer. This is the game that we're going to be talking about. This is So this is actually Oscar's first game for this team, so it's his debut, and it's actually my first game as the goalkeeper coach for this team as well, so we were kind of both in it together. The funny thing is, when we were warming up, I noticed that actually his gloves were absolutely ruined. For his debut, we didn't want him to have gloves that were literally falling apart at the seams, so as you can see, we just traded gloves. Okay, so the main event, Oscar puts down the GoPro in the goal. We were originally up with the other half, but we had to change ends. So this is the first proper involvement of the game, and it's actually a really big let-off for us. As you can see, the shot gets flashed right across the goal. I think you kind of see it on Oscar's face just here. The two strikers they had on the day were very, very good players. So we knew that if they had any sort of chance, they were really going to try and get at us. And you can see within the first 2, maybe 3 minutes of the game, they got on the ball and they thought, you know what, I'm just going to risk my first shot around. They were quite quick. They were very clever. So they're getting in behind. Like I mentioned, this is probably in the second minute maybe of the game. But because our players have managed to cover off his main passing issues, you can kind of see this guy over here. It's kind of not left him with much other options than to shoot. Oscar, I think, does really well. With the reaction speed this kid's got, I wouldn't mind him gambling just an extra half step to the right. Luckily for us, the shot flashes wide. Big warning sign, and unfortunately, you'll see in a minute, we didn't really take that into consideration properly. So the ball flashes wide, we now have the goal kick. The way that we have to set the GoPro up in the goal, it means that sometimes he might be ever so slightly out of frame, but he'll always come running back in. This is just his basic goal kick. He loves us a good switch of play, and it worked really well. This was a really annoying goal. About a minute, 2 minutes after the first instant, striker does really well just to get on the backside of our fullback. And you can see, I think personally, and you have to let me know down below, I think Oscar could have maybe even got to it. He kind of pulls his arm away last minute. I know for the landing, you kind of have to do. I think if he fully extends right there, I think he could maybe just get a touch onto it. But to be fair, it was a great finish from the striker. A little glancing header across goal. That's polar opposite of what a goalkeeper wants to see. So this is something you'll probably see a lot with Oscar. He's very comfortable as a goalkeeper with the ball at his feet, so the defence trusts him a lot and they'll play it back, and it's normally just recycling passes, but it's such a key point in modern goalkeeping, so I'm really glad he's got that down. The ball comes in, it's kind of a shank clearance. I get that it's not the greatest of clearances, but it is technically away. But the way this striker strikes the ball here, you'll see him just here. I'm going to rewind just a little bit. It's absolutely unbelievable. And this, if this is your one chance in the game, he's taking it. Ball gets knocked down outside of the foot. Goes around. The fact that Oscar got a hand to it, I'm actually very impressed, because the video almost doesn't do it justice. It properly curves all the way around. They were all screaming. Our bench were there like, wow, what a goal. Fair dues. Sometimes, as a goalkeeper, you've got to hold your hands up and say, you know what, mate, good shot, but I'm going to get you next time. You can see Oscar's mad. About 10 minutes into the game at this point, we're 2-0 down. His debut, he wanted a clean sheet. Unfortunately, it's the life of the goalkeeper. Cross comes in. It's another shank clearance, which falls out to another player on their side. You'll see a lot of their attacking players are coming from their 2 front men. One's drifting off a little bit wider, one's coming in the middle. This is a very underrated save. I'm sure all the keepers out there will appreciate it. Shot comes through, a crowded body, takes a nick off the defender, and that is a pure reaction save. You can tell by the reaction of the striker here, he thought it was in. Everybody thought it was in. The fact that it didn't is a massive credit. Fair enough, what a save. Shake of the hand as well. That's what a great feeling for a keeper. The corner actually goes straight out, and so this is about 5 minutes later. Kind of died down a bit. Our team seems to grow into the game. Again, recycling the pass. Oscar gets the ball. Good first touch out of his feet. Switches the play. Exactly what you want to see. This is textbook goalkeeping. Get the ball one side, touch out, across the ball. Again, through ball. Maybe could have come for it a little bit earlier, but he stands up well. A little just tap down. It doesn't have to always be the straightaway catch. So if we're not going to scoop it first time, you get your palms down, you push it into the ground, you stop all the momentum. Happy days, you can move on. Again, really good to see. This is the first game for these guys, and they're already trusting him with back passes. Sometimes it takes a little time for them to get used to it. He's done the exact right thing here, getting pressed down. There's no option to the side. clears the ball long. Short goal kick again, keep possession, why not? Again, receives the ball right up against the edge of the line, just clears it out. Beautiful little ping to the left. A little left foot clearance here. Again, it's something I strive with all my goalkeepers, especially in like the warm-up. Make them do a weak foot clearance several times, just so in the game, if you have to do it, you're not there like, oh no, for technique. Getting it away. Safety doesn't have to be pretty. This time the ball's just run through to him. Simple little collect. He's going to look up and try and find the best option. He tries to go right, sees that it's been covered off, go to the other side where there's loads of space. An edge of the box free kick. Ball comes in. At first, I spoke to him afterwards. He thought that there was a person behind him. He got a shout that there was a person behind him as well, so he thought the best option was just to clear it straight away. I think if he had this opportunity again, and I'm sure a lot of you probably agree, probably could have gone for the catch. But again, if your call is that there's somebody on your back, you get rid of the ball. Another short goal kick, keep the ball. We actually went into half time 2-2, which we were really happy about. We deemed to just start really slowly in this game, but we brought it back 2-2. Happy days. We're buzzing. We've got momentum. Half time comes. We're like, we can now capitalise on this. They're the home team as well. They're thinking, we had a great first 20 minutes. Let's go get back out. Let's go get it to early. Let's get back the lead. So this is literally from their kickoff. It comes back to 1, and then they kick it straight through to try and catch Oscar off guard. He reads it really well. High starting positions, what we want to see. And again, distribution out to the wing. Nice and easy. A bit of a longer goal kick this time, but it's still only a little clip out to the fullback, and this is a proper one. The pitch here is really hard to see, but it was on a massive slope, and it was almost easier kicking up because you can get your foot under the ball and it will go and it rise. When we were going downhill, Oscar was saying he was really strongly trying to get his foot under the ball because he was kind of leaning forward too much, trying to catch him off guard, just covering his angles nice and well. The other goal kick, you can kind of see it there again. He's really having to get a lot of backlift, which is creating a lot of backspin. Straight from the goal kick, he's managed to cover. And again, coming over to his front post, seeing it out. He's gone for a little bit more power. It's not come off. A little bit of a scramble in the box. Pretty soon on in the second half, we actually go up and counter attack. Now officially 3-2 up, and this was about 10 seconds after the restart. They managed to find a little bit of space out from their striker who was drifting to the right. He was doing this all game. He was finding those little pockets of space just in between the fullback and the centre back, and how this doesn't go in, I will never be able to explain it. It's one of these that the strikers should be finishing all day long. Our fullback number 2 manages just to get enough. It's not about winning the ball at that point. It's almost putting the striker off more than anything. So that could have changed the game. So that small little touch makes all the difference, and luckily for us it wasn't on target. Another goal kick, much better area this time, much better height. The ball comes across. I think he was expecting our fullback to nod it back to him, missed the ball. Good reaction if it is the case. He comes across, makes himself big, and at that point it is beat me from here or you're going to miss. Again, more goal kicks. He's starting to realise I'm not going to get as much distance, so I'm going to hit areas more than anything. Again, they are throwing the ball forward at this point. 3-2 around the 75th minute. Really good game management. He made sure he secured the ball, made sure he catches it, gets up slowly. It's all about game management. Slowly trots out, calms the defence down, lets them have a breather. Short goal kick came after this. We're trying to get some more touches on the ball because we are starting to feel the pressure of the constant attacks at this point in time. Drifting off to the side again. Gets past our centre back. Oscar does really well. That is a little bit naughty. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to replay it. If they take the ball fair enough, if it's a genuine mistake, it's absolutely fine. But just that little lean in with the foot, just that little bit naughty. Again, it's experience. It's what they do. Try and get a mental block on our goalkeepers, make him a little bit scared. Really, really mature performance here. Again, slowly getting up and then finding open space for our left back. Another short goal kick. We want to try and keep the ball a bit more. Simple little nod back. Slow trot up again. We were not supposed to get a result from these guys. We're away from home. They're higher up in the league from us. So the fact that we're 3-2 up, we're like, you know what? This is exactly what we want. You never know. If we can keep it solid, instead of playing their speed, we play our speed. We might even be able to nick a fourth and put the game to bed. Again, slowing them down. Striker's getting a little bit annoyed, but that's exactly what you're going to do. So one of our centre-backs actually had to go off. We brought on another guy, but this was his first involvement into the game. Really hard to get that up to the pace of the game within seconds. I think he was going to go for the nod on, realised if he was not going to come down quick enough, it was just going to go up and create more problems. So he kind of dips out of it the last second. I'm really impressed is that Oscar reacts really quickly to this. He notices this is what's going to happen really quickly. He reacts quickly. And again, when you're a young goalkeeper and you're playing at a higher level and there's older guys there, they are going to be rough. The cliche of welcome to men's football. There's nothing we can do about it as goalkeepers, goalkeeper coaches to prevent it. It's part of the game. Rough him up a little bit. See if he's going to crack under the pressure, because a lot of young keepers do. Very calm, cool, collected goalkeeper. This is the maturity from him. He goes back down after collecting the ball just to slow it down. And I love this from him. It gets hit, drops the ball, recovers the ball, then goes down. We're still massively under pressure because they are desperate to get this third goal now to equalise. Thank goodness this has happened. We've all had a breather for about a minute. We can now hit the last 5 minutes at this point properly. Again, just get rid of the ball at this point. We've decided we are happy with a 3-2. We're going to consolidate. We're going to hold it. And if they want to get a point from this game, they're going to have to come through and beat us. There we go. Ball comes bouncing up. Nice little skim. Bang. Into the hands. Enjoy your saves, keepers. Enjoy your saves. Here we go again. At this point, we are just hitting areas. We're just trying to get the ball out. And of course, always remember to stay hydrated. And it was actually the last involvement of the game, that little water bottle toss. It was a really impressive game. First game in this kind of level for a while. Such a mature performance. There was a lot of instances where he could have cracked, he could have got mad and shown that he was still a young goalkeeper. He didn't. He acted like he'd been there for donkey's years. Massive save in the first half. If that goes in 3-0, do we come back into the game at that point? Maybe not. So the fact he's managed to pull that off, couldn't be happier with this performance. If you do want to have a look at the much more condensed notes about this game, it is on my TikTok. The link will be in the bio. Some people seem to enjoy it, but I also really want to do this kind of longer form content. This is the first one of many. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like, a comment and a subscribe, and massively help the channel. We recently just hit 20,000 subscribers and I'm absolutely mind blown. A lot of that, yes, I know is shorts, and so another reason why I really want to get this longer form content done, really start engaging with you guys. Any questions you have, leave them down below. If you have any comments about his game that you thought, actually, I might have done this better or in a different way, again, put them down below. It would be awesome to talk to you guys. And I will upload these kind of videos every Thursday going forward. So make sure you subscribe to watch the rest.